What's up, guys? Chancellor T here, and I would like to say I hope you're having a blessed day and everything's going good and God is showing favor to you and your family and friends and co-workers all around you, and just stay encouraged and let God bless your day and get you through the day. The Lord this morning did something amazing that I wasn't expecting that was going to happen, and nor did I plan it to happen, but it did happen. So he wanted me to discuss parts of that with you today. So a lot of my children are high energy, like I was when I was little. Psychologically, they can be a little bit, impulsive too with the words and actions. So I understand what they're going through because I go through that. How we became like this, I don't know. I do know a little bit. My original mom was on drugs. I don't know if that kind of damaged the mindsets. It could be the governmental immunizations not adding to it, not helping as well. Or it could just be our general makeup on how God wants us to be too, So all that stuff is to be taken into play, but most people aren't going to take that into play, aren't going to understand all that when they're dealing with an individual. Just like how you are, you might know your past and your family might know some more to help you figure out why you're like who you are, but people just don't have that time and depth to bring themselves to that understanding, which is another reason why it's important to know God and walk in the Spirit of God, so you can walk in wisdom and discernment, so you won't be rash to making judgments about people and treating them a certain kind of way because you think you got it all figured out. And so being like this, my son is going through a lot of different issues as far as being in social settings, mainly schools, daycares, things like that, because he don't sit still. The Lord yesterday showed me early on that your son is. He showed me a vision in a dream before it all happened of my son being restless at school, and I came in and I was telling him to be quiet, but then all around him he wasn't listening, and then all around him the other little children got up during nap time, and they were doing the same things he was doing. They was being mean, like evilly, wickedly mean, like. But he was showing me, he said, your son might have a restless issue, an impulsive issue, but he's still my child. And of course God knows him better than I know him and anybody else can know him. So it's best to be with God, to get with the Lord, because he knows the inner workings of him, me, the people around him. That's another reason why you want to be in relationship with God. And yes, he will divulge this type of information to you. So getting a close relationship is good to know that from the Holy Spirit. Anyway, so he was showing me, like, he was like, your son's not a bad person. So when people present him to you as a parent, I never seen nothing like this. He's a freaking bad kid. He just does things that, you can see the look of disdain in their eyes, roots of bitterness, because he will do some stuff to get on somebody's bad side. A lot of times people don't have the energy, that's energy draining, so they don't know how to, they need to get with the Lord and find out why they're getting irked as well. So, but anyway, but they'll present you to you like your son is just the worst thing ever. And But the Lord showed me, he said he's a good-natured, hearted, beautiful young man. All my children are. They might have some issues and might do some things, like, because they're not perfect, and they might say some stuff, but their natures are good. But he was showing me the contrast to the other children, not to say all the other children are evil either, because they might be going through some similar things too, but I don't know them. He was just showing me, like, some of these other kids are sons of perdition, devils, and they will grow and never come to the working knowledge of Jesus Christ. And it's hard to say when you're talking about kids, but they can be mean-spirited and evil, and you want the best for them as well, but you don't never know who these other kids are. And they being mean to my child, right? And he's feeding off of that, and then because he's drawing so much attention to himself because of his high energy, they are going to come after him because they're automatically label him as the bad kid. So I guess it's the definition of what is good and what is bad. And if you're taking high energy, might have to tell him a few times to do something, he won't listen right away. He responds the wrong way when you're talking to him and chastising him. You're taking that as saying he's bad. That ain't bad. He just need correction. Then there's bad, which underhanded, evil things that people can do. Treat people a certain way. And there's, of course, good and bad in all of us, but I'm not to say my son is perfect. He won't do some things, but that's just something God was showing me. So today, he orchestrated to where I was the one that dropped him off at the school where he goes every day, where we're constantly having these conversations with these people that have no patience. This is a church, or like a Christian type organization too, so the Lord was showing me that these people aren't praying. They asking God to give us the world, help us minister to the people, but they being selective in the type of people he's sending to them. And they're not using discernment, and they're not understanding that they're being tested. Every kid that comes in there, or every person you run across, ain't gonna be somebody to your liking. And God is seeing how you're gonna respond and react to these people, whether they be from a poor standard, low, or they be a high energy child. So keeping in context with this Christian organization school, and that's where you would want to go, and you would want to see the most fruit of the Spirit. I ain't saying it's the end all and be all for them, and I ain't saying they gotta be close to the Lord, even especially dealing with children. And you gotta be prayed up, be able to equip to give. All you gotta do is show my son love. You gotta do it. You have to keep him. You have to have a solid, firm hand with them as well, because they will run amok on you. If they see you too weak, they play too much. So but you do gotta show them love, and you can see a drastic change in the behavior and the issues that you're dealing with from a day-to-day basis. And you'll know and take time to figure out that they're not bad, they just are reacting to how you acting. They're reacting off of what you're doing. And that's another thing God showed me. Just because an adult is telling you something and do you know that adult? Do you know the entities that affect them? The Bible says you battle not against flesh and blood, but the rulers and the principalities of the air. These adults are affected also by these rulers and the principalities of the air. They got roots of bitterness. They can be mean and dislike folks. So you got to be careful when you're interacting with these people at these schools and these places, that they don't have the mother nature in them to automatically just unconditionally love your child. They're not going to do it. And some people do better than others, but you gotta be worried, and you gotta be careful about the information that you take in to affect you. Because if you take it in and then you start treating your child like they treating your child, then you got two fools in the situation, right? Because you are listening to people and you don't know where they coming from. Their pride might have been hurt. Your son might, or your child might not have listened to them, and they pride got hurt. Oh, you gonna listen to me, and you didn't give me no respect, and then they treat your child like they got a root of bitterness now, right? They're not forgiving, and they're not understanding. That's a 5-year-old, okay? 5-year-old. You let a 5-year-old get up into your skin and in your nature, and you just don't like them, right? You just don't like them no more, and now you're gonna treat them. Every time you see him, you're cutting your eyes. You're talking to his parents constantly. You don't want to be around them. You don't really want them in your presence no more. But then you really just want to get rid of them because you don't like them. And there's other issues going on in their situation, because you're a human being like the rest of us that also has to be weighed in a balance. So just because somebody's an adult or a child, don't make them perfect, right? You gotta allow, that's the reason for discernment. All right, so Lord had me go and talk and let this person know that he gave me a vision a while back, and let them know. Before I walked in, he was like, they don't know they're being tested. And I didn't understand what he was talking about at the time. I didn't know I was about to have that conversation. I just want to go in, leave out, go to work. But I didn't. It didn't happen like that. We ended up having a conversation. He said, don't worry about what you say. If they say something to you about your child, I'm going to speak through you. And I ended up having to tell him, all right, first of all, the Lord showed me a while ago, there's a spiritual attack on him. He has this particular son. He has the nature, good-hearted nature, and he has 4 prophet names on him. The devil does not like him. His name alone irks him. He has God all over him. And that means that that attack is going to come from within him. And it's going to come from without. Whatever they can do. He's a child. His mind, he ain't got control over his mind fully. And he's impulsive. And he got this makeup that they damage somebody down his family lines further to implant that. But we'll talk about that another time, about not generational curse, but a generational attack and different things that they know about us that they can use later. I'm just looking at my time here, to bring about a issue in the life of us and the other people around us. So that's another reason we gotta have discernment. You got to be close to the Lord, and you have to develop that relationship, because his wisdom far exceeds our wisdom. So I let him know. He had a demonic. He has a spiritual attack on him, and he might even be used sometimes by the enemy, just like I am, and you are, and whether you want to admit it or not. We can all be used by the devil and the demonic spirits that's been assigned to us, and to take us out and cause us to do things that we never thought we would ever do. So things that separate us from the Lord and draw him far from his tabernacle, which is our bodies that he wants to dwell in. So, dumb down our relationship with him. So anyway, I told this lady that he has an attack on him. And I was trying to be nice and not rude to her and disrespectful. I know, because if you say too much, people, I seen it going in that direction. People can't handle sometimes how dare you talk to me, this and that, They try to, you're a minister now, what church you go to, and this and that, trying to figure you out. But that's a whole nother story. That, some of this stuff took place this very day. So you don't know who you're dealing with sometimes, and who God send in your path, just because they might not look a certain way. What is a child of God supposed to look like? Do they walk around with a freaking robe and little collar on. No, you don't know who God is using. Just like I don't know. It could be a bum on the street, or it could be a somebody in a business suit. You never know. But he sees all. It don't matter, even if not using the person. He sees everything anyway, and he definitely knows each of our hearts to the minutest detail, down to the what he say. He knows the hairs on your head, the numbered, even us bald folks. Okay. So anyway, how about the ones on your chinny chin chin? So, we had this discussion today, and I hopefully I try to portray her that I can't get in his brain. He's young, and he's got to mature, but ultimately God got him, right? He prepared me in advance that a lot of people, he's gonna have a lot of different issues through life, but that don't alter his character. Don't beat him down. God gave us our children to watch over them and to get them and raise them up in the Lord. That's what we're supposed to be doing. He loaned them to us. They're not ours. And if we mess them up, we are not doing the Lord a good service. I'm not saying I'm the best parent. I've done and reacted and done stupid stuff too. So that's why, but I'm gonna be honest about that, and I hopefully, and I pray that I can do better, because of course I wasn't looking at how important it is to how fragile a child is, because I didn't grow up with somebody treating me with fragility, and how, not to say that they'll break, but, and you don't chastise them at time, but to do it the way God would do it, the way in his spirit that he gives us to do it, how he deals with us. Of course, then to know that, you got to have a relationship with him. And so, but God told me, he let me know that he got him. That he might make many detours. He might have to go through many people with lack of toleration for his type of character. They might have to be removed from his life, but we will not damage him. He's going to be an awesome man of God. He's going to be a beautiful man of God, no matter what nobody says about him. You can say you're not going to put it on him, and he's going to be an anointed man of God, and he's going to be a successful man in life. Why do I know this? Because the very one that created him showed me that. That's if I'm an idiot, his mom's an idiot, his siblings are idiots, ain't nobody gonna change his destiny, because his destiny is rooted deep and steep in the Lord Jesus Christ, and I already got a prophecy about him. So you better get on his good side, because when it comes time for his blessings that are going to be overwhelming and beautiful, because I've seen it, are you going to be on the list of blessing that he going to say, hey, you were in my life, you showed me kindness in spite of myself and in spite of my ways, and you helped me become the person I am today? Are you going to be on that list? Or are you going to be one of those people on the other list that gave up on him and treated him like he's nothing, and he didn't have everything that it should have looked like he should have had? So have a blessed day. God's got him.